What can a carnivore or keto diet do for you? Hi, this is Kirk, the bariatric carnivore. 10 years ago, I weighed over 300 pounds and was on 10 medications, feeling miserable. It seemed like every 4 months or so, my back would go out. And I'd have to go see my doctor, and he'd have to give me a bunch of painkillers and muscle relaxants and would work on my back. And then I'd have to go see a chiropractor, hoping to get my back into alignment so that those aches and pains went away. And then as I was getting a little bit older, as I was approaching my 50s, the pains in the knees started, and the legs, and I couldn't walk as much as I could. And I was in pain. Woke up every morning with pretty low ache, at least in my back, occasionally getting to have very acute pain. And it wasn't just that. There was blood pressure problems. Suffered my first gout attack, which is really about the second worst pain that I'd ever had in my entire life. There's a bunch of stuff that was bad about being really overweight. Then I had bariatric surgery. And I lost about 60 pounds, and I felt better, sleeping a little bit better. Didn't have as many gout attacks. My back was not hurting as much. But it wasn't until I switched over to a keto diet that I started to have real relief. And it's kind of a scary process at one level when you begin to realize that you don't have to eat the way our government tells us to, or dietitians or the way they taught you in school. But when you start using real food and you keep your carbs down to under 20 grams per day, things really start to change. And what was noticeable, about a week after I started this diet, I woke up that first morning, got out of bed and realized I don't hurt. Frankly, there was no inflammation in the joints. My legs didn't hurt. I started getting stronger. I could walk longer distances, and I felt better. And I think that's been pretty much a constant for everybody else. And there's all these other little things that keep appearing when you begin a keto carnivore diet. Many of you guys may experience this time of year in the spring and in the fall, seasonal allergies. What was fascinating about this when I went keto was, and I live in Oklahoma, and if you don't have allergies when you arrive in Oklahoma, you certainly will when you leave. And when I got here, my allergies were bad. I was taking 3 allergy meds every single day just to stay on top of these things. And when the worst of the season, I'd be doing Flonase and other stuff too, trying to keep functional. And I would always have a seasonal cold, at least every spring and every winter, where things would just get infected. And what was interesting was, one day I ran out of the medicine, and I meant to go to the drugstore, forgot, and the next day I realized I'm not sneezing. So I didn't take it again for another day, and another day, and another. And after a week I realized I can breathe, my allergies aren't flaring up. That is really strange. Then I started poking around and realized there's a lot of other people that were on keto diets that don't have allergies anymore either. And it's an interesting change. I can't guarantee you that if you switch diets and start eating whole, real food and get rid of the inflammation, that your allergies will go away. But be looking for it, because it's a real serious side effect. And when the inflammation that comes from in your body from eating processed food, particularly sugars, grains, and the industrial seed oils, also known as vegetable oils, when you quit putting that type of inflammatory material into your body, slowly but surely your body starts to heal and the inflammation goes down. And when the inflammation goes down, your joints feel better. And it's amazing how many people that have been on a keto diet wake up in the morning and their knee pain goes away. Several people have canceled surgeries to have knee replacements because they've lost weight on a keto diet and the inflammation went away, and their arthritis pains get better or go away completely. I noticed when I began this journey that I had the beginnings of psoriasis showing up on my arms, and this was popping up in my mid-50s. That's gone away too. frankly, there's been a host of really good things that keep getting better. My blood pressure's gone down, where it's now normal. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. These are all good things that happen from doing a ketogenic diet. There was a lot of good stuff that came from losing the weight. I mean, I'm not going to lie. There were some advantages. I slept better, for sure. I was able, once you lose about 25% or 20% or so of your weight on any type of thing, was able to get rid of the CPAP and no longer needed, wasn't snoring anymore at night. So I was getting much better, more restful sleep. So a lot of these things start cascading on themselves, but boy, the big change was switching, not just losing the weight, but switching the diet from highly inflammatory processed foods to a more ketogenic, and then eventually I switched to a carnivore diet, and that made things even better. Surprisingly, I was absolutely stunned just how much inflammation I was getting from even fresh vegetables. My body really couldn't tolerate them. One of the nice things about a carnivore diet, where you just eat exclusively beef, bacon, eggs, and maybe a little bit of dairy if you can tolerate it, but you don't have to have it. But beef, bacon, eggs, if you're just eating that, these are products that your body is not going to rebel against. There's no inflammation. And if you want to try to add things in later on after you've done it for a while, but do it for a couple months. Notice what your body reacts to and what it no longer reacts to. You may notice that your allergy symptoms go away, that the pains are going away in your joints, and that you're feeling better. And these are some of the miraculous changes that happen when you get away from highly processed, industrialized food. That's human pet chow. That's what the government and what, frankly, big companies have been forcing down our throats for a long time. But when you get that out of your system, you get rid of the inflammation. If that's been your experience, hey, do me a favor, leave a comment below. Encourage somebody else to try it for a couple of months. See what happens if you just strictly eat meat, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. Just do that for a couple of months and see if the problems that you have now just miraculously get better. And if that's been your story, let us know. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel. We're going to try to put up a video every single day as we go along, and we'll be exploring more and more about our healthcare journey together.